Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I have a design team layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I am using the cut file that was released this month called Build a Summer Garden. And what I've done is I just wanted the outline for some of the pieces from that cut file, and so I decided to do an outline cut of the butterflies. Now you can cut all the intricate pieces and you could even layer them up, and you can create as many sizes as you want. There's also leaves and other florals. And then I took two of the florals as well, and I outline cut those. And so I knew I wanted just the outline instead of the sort of intricate cuts, and that's because I wanted to do some mixed media, or I wanted to use my Distress Oxide sprays and do sort of a rainbow effect. I've done this before, I've done it multiple times. It's one of my favorite ways to take just a white cut file and add color to it, mostly because it doesn't require any expertise with mixed media or anything like that. You just take sprays or inks, and I can color my white cut files any way that I want. And so I'm using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of August, and it was off of the Sunkissed collection. So these are all the things that I pulled to embellish the page, and then I have my titling will be from this thicker set. And so I pulled these to potentially use some of this on the page itself. And then I am using this rainbow paper, and so that's why I wanted to have a rainbow of color for my mist. And I'm definitely not looking for these to be realistic in color because like I said, I'm going for a rainbow. So the florals and the butterflies, they will probably have multiple colors, which I'm making it rainbows instead of, like, you know, a full like blue butterfly or things like that. And so I'm going to use this rainbow paper, and I probably will use some of the orange on the background, and then I'm going to frame my layout with this ombre piece of pattern paper, and then I have just a white cardstock, and then I've got my photo here that I've already backed with a scrap from the collection, which is this kind of mint green pattern. And then I have two Project Life cards that I'm just going to use as well to frame my photo. And so what I'm going to do first is show you just at least some of the coloring of at least the butterflies. I'll be doing the florals the exact same way. So I'm going to show you that, and then I thought I'd show you what I'm going to use on the page. And then once I've done this and these have had a chance to dry, we'll come back and I will lay out the page and the design. So instead of doing a voiceover, I'm going to kind of just walk you through the different parts. So it could, hopefully it won't be super choppy, but we're going to start with coloring these, and then we're going to come back now that you've seen what I'm using and build the layout as we go. So like I said, I'm using Distress Oxide. So I have Fossilized Amber is one of the colors. I have Picked Raspberry. I have Prize Ribbon. And then I have Peeled Paint and Spiced Marmalade. So not a true rainbow of colors, but definitely a good representation. I think it matches the pattern paper pretty well. So I'm just going to shake these up. I'm going to move these guys out of the way first. And we're just going to shake these up, each of the colors. And I'm just going to, that's the best thing about having one of these glass mats as well, is I can put color down and it easily can get wiped up. So I'm going to spray the color down for each of these colors. I have plenty of space to work with, so I'm able to kind of keep the colors self-contained. So let me get these sprayed out, and then what I'm going to do is add, this blue is like super spray because, man, it gets everywhere. So I'm going to just wipe this a little bit, or else my green and my blue are going to mix for sure. So now I'm going to add in, ooh, I've spread my yellow too. Oops. So then spray a little bit of my green. And then I'm going to spray the orange. And it's okay if they mix a little bit. It's not a big deal. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take my spray bottle and I'm just going to add some water to each of these because it'll just give me a little bit more ink to play with, and I don't need it to be super concentrated. We're only taking simple piece of pattern paper and getting them wet. So all I'm going to do is just dip my butterflies into the color, and your hands definitely get really, really messy. So I'm trying not to get mud for sure. So we're just playing. I can cut more if I don't like what gets created. So I'm just playing for the most part and seeing what I get. It's okay if there is some clear spots, or some white, I should say, not clear. I'm just going for rainbow butterflies pretty much. Nothing complicated with this one at all. And like I said, my fingers will be completely covered in ink by the time I am done, for sure. And if I don't like some of them, then I don't have to use them. It is fine. Okay, so we are back, and I had to stop the camera while I was filming all the inking of all of these florals and butterflies. But I went ahead and I finished all of that. And I picked out the ones that I was going to use, and once I had the inking done, I did come back through and add some white splatters, and then some of the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold. So, because I know I'm using gold letters on this page, so I added in some of the gold mist as well. And so this is how they turned out. So you can kind of see, I'll hold a couple up so you can kind of get a good look at them. So these are what I'm going to use on my page, and I thought for fun what I might try and see how it looks is I have these puffy stickers from Bella Boulevard, and because this is definitely a whimsical collection that I'm using, I thought just on the bigger florals, so these three, I thought I might add one of these puffy stickers to the center, and then I'll use some of them throughout the layout as well. So I am thinking I'm going to maybe go with yellow in that one, and maybe an orange in that one, and on this one, let's go for this one maybe. There's not a really good blue on this one, but this floral it's a bit large. Maybe this pink. But this floral definitely has a pink tone to it, so yeah. So just to add a little bit of whimsy, and like I said, I'm going to dot these throughout as well. I figured I can add those. They're kind of cute, kind of fun, adds a little bit of extra texture to the layout. So we'll put those off to the side. I also have the Spice Marmalade Distress Oxide. I'm going to do some stamping with this stamp here, which is, these are very old background stamps from Glitz, if you remember that company when it used to be around, and it's this one here, it's the music And so I'm going to use that on my background. So now that I have these done, those are going to be embellishments on my page. I'm going to bring my background back in here, and this is what I showed you before. So one thing I know I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pattern paper. So I want to tear my edges, and this paper definitely has a direction to it. With the rainbows, they go this way, so I know that if I'm going to cut a piece, and this I plan on putting at the top of my layout, so if that's the case, I'm going to do my paper tearing here at the bottom, and then cut the section with my paper trimmer here. Everything is in my way. Alright, so then we're going to take our paper trimmer. We are just going to cut off, I'm going to say, right underneath that set of rainbows. So that, and then I'm going to also cut just another section, because I'm going to have the orange peeking out as well, and because my paper is not 12 by 12, I'm going to cut these down. And this one as well. Okay. So cut those. Now all my pattern papers are cut. And this is going to go along the top here. That much I know. And then this is going to go under, and I am going to get this one done as well. So this is going to layer up like so. And then I know my photo is going to go, I'm going for sort of a central design. I am not looking, I don't care about the words on any of these Project Life type cards. I'm just using it strictly for some color. So they're just going to go around my photo, something along this line. So I'm going to lay everything out, like I said, and glue it down off camera. So I just figured I would walk you through the building of the layout, and then that way you can see it coming together. So I know that my layout's going to go something like this. Now, I'm not going to do it on camera, I don't think, but my plan is to then just randomly stamp down the page. Not sure. I want this to be at least touching, so it'll probably be about like that. I'm not sure whether my title is going to go up the top or here at the bottom, but either way, I'm going to stamp just here where my row, where I'm kind of leading down the page. I'm going to stamp in the background with this. I probably will also add toward the end some Honey Swap Gold Color Shine. So that's going to come back in again to pull in the gold, because my title is going to be gold. And what I'm going to do to start, before we come in with the other embellishments, I am going to... And today we're going to look at a couple... Sorry about that. I accidentally hit my keyboard. Okay, so I do know that I want to take my butterflies, and I do want them cascading down the page, and this one up here like that. So I want that, and then my plan is to place the florals in amongst my butterflies. So the butterflies are acting as sort of part of my embellishment clusters, or the starts of my embellishment clusters, I guess I should say. And something along this line. And then, let's see, up here, this one probably just needs to be a smaller in size. Going that way. This one, and again, you can see that I am trying to balance the colors at least a little bit. Trying to get a representation of the colors. It doesn't have to be exact at all. But I'm just trying to build my embellishing clusters with at least some of the colors being represented in each of the florals. And that one maybe over here. So it's gonna go something like that is what I'm going for, I think. And obviously I will straighten all this up and get it all glued down, but it's gonna go something along that line. And then what I think I'm going to do is, once I get this glued down, you'll see the stamping has come in and probably the splatters then will come in with the title and with some of these embellishing pieces and figure out where we want to place them. So I have some of these these tabs, or tickets I should say, I keep wanting to call them tabs. I'm thinking I might use the larger size and just tuck these in along the sides here. Maybe one up here, another one over here. Kind of going where my bigger florals are for those tickets. Let's see, I also wanted to pull in these rainbows to mirror the pattern paper that I'm using. So, not really sure where this is going to go yet. Maybe somewhere in there. And I have another one. And I have one that is a sticker as well that maybe could come in down here. So something along that line. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to try to make my butterflies sort of alternate directions as I'm going through, and then we'll come back in with these other stickers and little embellishment pieces and sort of finish up placement for this page with the embellishments, figure out where our title is going to go, and get this one wrapped up. Okay, we are going to finish up this page, and I have gone ahead and glued everything down. I did go ahead and add a couple of these word strips that I had pulled out, so I've gone ahead and done that. I've added a little tab here, and then I'm going to glue that word strip right in there. And I did go ahead and add to the center of the other florals some enamel dots. Sorry, show them to you. I also added this little sticker here, which was from the sticker sheet, and I do have an acrylic camera that I'm going to place right there on the layout. So here's what I have so far, and now I'm going to come down here at the bottom and add my title right. I'm going to nestle it right in here. So this one is going to be called Sound Lab. And this is at Disney in the Imagination, or Journey into Imagination. It's the Figment ride. When you get off the ride, they have all these sort of little interactive things that you can play in. And this particular one, the floor has these squares on it that when you stand on them, they play different sounds. So my kids will often jump back and forth within the squares and have it play all the sounds. It's still something that we do, even though my kids are grown now, but they've always stopped here. We've always stopped here and just kind of hung out for a few minutes, played. I don't know if they still have it, but you used to be able to create like a postcard to email to yourself that you could design. I know they do like pictures there now of like Star Wars, or put yourself in with the characters or something like that, photos. So they might have taken out, I can't remember if the last time we were there if they actually had it anymore. But in any case, it's going to be called Sound Lab, and I haven't punched one out yet, but I am going to punch out a Mickey head, which will go in one of these clusters. So in the still photos at the end, you can see where I go ahead and add the Mickey head, which will make it on this page. You can see that I did add some gold splatters to the background, as well as that stamping. Now, I went back and forth whether I was going to go and add any more of the puffy stickers or the enamel or these sticky back brads. But I feel like the page really doesn't necessarily need it. So I think what I'm going to do is come in here. These are my enamel dots. I might go ahead and add a few enamel dots, quite possibly. But I feel like these puffy florals that I put in each cluster are kind of like out on their own, and that I need to add some more to really pull in using these puffies as more intentional throughout the layout. And so I want to go ahead and add a couple of these in. Don't know whether I want to, I feel like I want to tuck that out at the end almost, but I feel like it gets hung out, kind of just hanging out in space. So I don't know where I want to put this, maybe down there. So I'm just going to dot a couple of these. Like I said, I want to make it feel like using those was intentional and not, I haven't glued that down yet, but it will go right there. And I could maybe finish that off here. So I don't need a ton of these, but I think a few tucked in will make it feel like they are an element that I meant to put on the page. I kind of feel like it needs it. And maybe that's enough. Maybe one more. Maybe this yellow, possibly. The yellow one. Could maybe stick it in here. Let's see. Or should it go up in that cluster? Don't know that I like it there. I think I do like it down there. And I'm thinking maybe some enamel dots to spread around the page. Just a couple. Excuse me. Maybe in each of these larger clusters that I have going on the page is where I will put just 3 enamel dots on the page. I am thinking, sorry, I'm thinking through while I'm doing this to make sure that I have everything I want on this page. So I think we're going to call this good. And the large one. And I think we're going to call this good. So I'm just going to glue down these couple of pieces that I have left to tack down, and we're going to call this one done. So with that, I will have the links down below to the Facebook group and the Confessions of a Paper Addict store. So be sure to go grab this fun cut file. There's so much you can do with this cut file. And then if you haven't joined the Facebook group, make sure you go ahead and join that, because Virginia every month puts out a free cut file, so you can always grab the free one that is in the shop or that is in the Facebook group before it's gone at the end of the month. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.